So 2021 has come to an end, and I have to say that if you're watching this right now, I really appreciate you. I restarted RetroActive after years and years in the can in late 2020 when all just seemed lost and hopeless. I one day randomly decided I was tired of all my systems being in storage, and that immediately gave me that itch again to talk about something I love and just enjoy it with other people. Now, despite starting in October of 2020 with my first uploads, I consider that more the pilot program of sorts. 2021 feels like the official first year of this revived channel. I may honestly revisit the topics and games of those videos later on in some form, even though that would be the third revisit of some of those games. I just hadn't really found a voice yet, or that's how I feel about it. But 2021 was a great year overall. I found some personal growth. The channel grew. I think I got like 200 subscribers recently. I made good strides on Twitch, and I've met some wonderful people as well. You really can't ask for more from what is essentially a hobby, no matter how serious I sometimes take it. I have to give shoutouts to people who really helped with that, like Genovi, who was kind enough to include me in a video along with some other wonderful channels. Go check out that video if you never have, and sub to the other channels as well. It'll be in the description. HD Retrovision for a shoutout on Twitter, Tigerclaw TV for the same, Uber Disco for all the raids on Twitch, supporters like Carson's who even gifted subs to other people, Chris of Scott International, Chelsea who streams on Twitch as Fishtix12, and of course all of you who are just awesome friends and patrons in a number of ways. Now, I don't want this to all be about just numbers and subs and patrons. In the past, I looked at RetroActive as a sort of job, and I'm trying to take a much more relaxed approach and thought process to it now. And that doesn't mean I don't want that growth to continue. I always hope to see the time spent on this channel giving something back. That can be as simple as new friendships, collaborations, my own escapism, and of course then the usual subs and view counts. So for 2022, I do have some goals. I'd like to finally get over that 1,000 subscriber threshold, gain 10 whole patrons on Ko-fi, but really just improve the quality of the show in some way. From January 2021 until the end of December, I managed to release 16 scripted videos. Not bad for a first year full of hurdles such as being unemployed for a bit, and just the general state of things. Well, I'd like to shoot for 20 this year, which means I better get busy. I will continue to stream on Twitch, of course, in 2022, and hopefully with some new dates and times. I just unfortunately can't promise that last bit. But while sometimes it felt like growth was slow, I had plenty of really great mornings, and I recognize I don't stream for long, and it's a very kind of niche time slot. I haven't decided if I want to try a second YouTube channel for live streams as well, and in fact, let me know if that interests you at all. As for an actual what is happening right now, I'm currently playing through Ys 4 on PC Engine, on Twitch. I just started in fact, so if you're interested in that, make sure you pop on over on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings right now. For this channel, my next effort will be a stall for the Sega Saturn. I hope to have it out by the end of the month. Fingers crossed and all that. I'm also going to start mixing in more games from that generation and the one after it. It has been 20 years plus since the PS2, Dreamcast, GameCube, and Xbox generation, so it's pretty freaking retro at this point. So next, some of those lovely people I mentioned before gave me some questions in my Discord to answer, and I wanted to go through those, so let's get started on that. And first up, we have Reggie with, do you really like ska music? I mean, the answer's kind of obvious, but it's an excellent question. The answer is resounding yes. I've basically been obsessed with it since I first listened to the special self-titled after heading down a LimeWire rabbit hole, or maybe it was Morpheus, who knows, and have been dabbling in it a lot with Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, Let's Face It album, that kind of stuff. But the neo swing stuff, that was really my favorite just prior to that, they kind of went hand in hand. And then ska punk and crack rock steady became my daily soundtrack fairly quickly during my spike bracelets and blue hair phase. The clothes may have changed, but the music sure didn't. This is also when I should remind everyone to watch my video about ska music in video games. It's the first of several, I'm thinking. Second question is, favorite classic and modern RPG? So this is a tough one for me, for two reasons. What's considered a classic RPG, and because I don't really play that many modern RPGs, really. But here's what I've got for it. For classic, I would go with Ys Book 1 and 2, though it's not really considered that more traditional turn-based RPG with lists of stats, moves, party control. It would still be my first pick. I tend to skew a little more towards that style of RPG in general. Something closer to that, like Final Fantasy and all that, I would go with Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. Both honestly are top games for me in general, not just in the RPG sense, and I have replayed them numerous times over the years, and Super Mario RPG is one of the games I got with my original Super Nintendo. For modern RPG, it would have to be Fallout series with a special mention to New Vegas, which is really the best of the modern Fallout games, if you ask me. I've always been a fan of Swing, Space Age Pop, I just mentioned that above actually, and the Rat Pack, so the setting and music was always perfect for me. And of course, Obsidian tells an amazing story. Though I do have a runner-up with Knights of the Old Republic, just a smidge older and getting a re-release and remaster soon, and I cannot wait for that new version. They also asked next, what is your favorite ball game? Would the Munchbles for the Wii count? You're pretty ball-like, or I guess it's really more Pac-Man than anything. Or maybe Trip World, you can turn into a ball, kind of. You're kind of bouncy. It's a wonderful platformer, but you're nowhere near worth that collector's price. But it doesn't count. Neither one of those count. I don't know. I'm gonna have to default to Super Monkey Ball, I think. Next from Chris, 2022 music and game releases or hopes for release that you're looking forward to. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Chris, I'm really looking forward to that Boss Battle EP, so get on that. But seriously, for everybody, go follow Boss Battle and grab their singles. I'm not really sure what else is coming this year yet, but I am looking forward to the Dissidente album I just pre-ordered, and I hope for lots more from Tape Girl in 2022. For game releases, I've been eagerly awaiting Stray on PS5, or as me and my wife keep calling it, Backpack Cat. You're kind of exploring the cyberpunk neon world as a cute cat wearing a backpack trying to solve some sort of ancient mystery while also trying to find your way home. I mean, it's just adorable looking. I also have several physical editions coming of wonderful indie titles and retro re-releases. Obviously, some of those are already released, so it doesn't really count, but I'm excited either way, and I'm always on the lookout for more like that. But I do really hope I get to see Good Boy Galaxy before 2023 rolls around. And this looks like it's an amazing game coming out for the Game Boy Advance, and then of course also Switch and PC. All right, Critical Failure asked, what are your plans for your website? Think you will ever take on other content providers, similar to how RetroWare TV used to years ago? So yes, if you didn't know, I do have a website. I haven't done a lot with it yet, a few articles and the like, and I do hope to do more with it in 2022 for sure. But I haven't decided what yet. Definitely want to keep writing and want to add more merch. As far as other content creators go, it is something I've considered, but I'm not 100% sure how to go about it or what the goal would really be. I've been involved in that a few times in the past, both as a contributor and more behind the scenes, such as community manager or web builder. And I love the sense of community it builds and how creators have more of a direct connection to each other, which leads them to be helping each other in collaborations and stuff like that more. But I've also seen how quickly that can dissolve and how one or two creators can become the stars, so to speak, and how others can kind of get pushed to the side. I don't want that. There needs to be a real camaraderie between everybody. I'd also like to make sure it can support those creators in some way and be a bit self-sustaining without the usual lean on ads or something stupid. It would need to be a conversation, what multiple people would like to see, the way and how it should be done. If anyone ever wants to talk about something like that, I'm all ears. So next from Codename Modern is you win a large sum of money and you're told you have to spend it making a video game. What game would you make and for what console? I've often wondered about this, honestly. I've always kind of wished to, dabble in video game creation of some sort and never really gotten very far into what I would want. But put on the spot to a degree, I suppose, I would have to choose the Sega Master System and probably an action RPG or adventure title. Might as well make my version of the Dragon's Trap, right? Of course, you have to pull out all the stops and milk that system for everything it's worth. All the parallax scrolling, boss fights, big as they can be, and maybe even something in scope closer to Super Mario Bros. 3. That may sound short-sighted a bit since it was a large sum of money, but honestly, I tend to think long-term. How crazy would it be to not rely on crowdfunding or pre-orders to pull out all the stops for physical release, like the best box, properly made PCB with the nice beveled edge, a full color manual, all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's silly, but that's the answer I'm gonna give. All right, so that's it for this little wrap-up video. Once again, I'm super thankful for all of you and for your support. I hope to see you in the Discord or during a live stream sometime soon. Links for everything I've mentioned will be in the description, and I'll do a pinned comment as well. I'll see you next time. So in Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap, there's a secret room full of goodies and several chests. Once you have the Thunder Saber, you should venture back to the left through the desert section. Once you end up at the pyramid, instead of going down the well, climb it to the other side. Enter the Sphinx and break the blocks that form the room. You can now grab one chest, then press up anywhere and you'll exit through a door. Rinse and repeat until you have opened all the chests. You'll gain a lot of money, magic, charm stones, and even a potion. You can repeat this every time you stop the game and begin it again with a password.